What's to you guys? Welcome back to the new and improved channel of Petty Entertainment, and I'm your host, Joylicious. Now, before y'all start shading me and all this type of nonsense, I already recorded part 2 of the Sidechick story, but per usual, I messed it up. Whatever. And I know I look like this now, but it's fine. It's fine because I still have hair. And I already recorded this video, so here's a little clip of that. Think that you can actually be with and see something with, you kind of like put the little things to the side. You don't even think about it. You're just high rolling. You're just like, we're doing this today. What are you doing? Nothing. Whereas in reality, it's like, honey, you ain't even see that. Because I think Stevie Wonder saw that one. Also, where we left off last time, I know in my previous video, I said that he had ghosted me for 2 weeks. I actually said that early because he didn't ghost me until after where we left off. And that's where we're gonna pick up. So, where we left off was, I can just show y'all. Real clip. By 7. One day I stalled and I was like, I want to see what's going to happen if we don't leave right at 7. So we didn't leave right at 7. We left at like 7:10, 7:08. So when we're walking out, I saw something that I should have paid more attention to. When I walked out of those doors, I instantly knew the reason why we left at 7. But like, what was I saying? Where we left off was, I had walked out of his apartment and there was this female that was approaching his door. Mind you, there's only 4 doors down there. Okay, so it's one on the left, one on the right, same in the back, just those 4 right there. And she had already passed every other door and she was coming directly towards his apartment. So I was like, this is peculiar. I don't know how to say the word. When she kept walking, she was looking at me. And she was looking at me like, and I was looking at her like, and she started asking me a question and she was like, who are you? And I was like, what's up? Oh. And she said, what's your name? And I was like, Joy, because I ain't know. Okay, you come to the right person, asking the right questions. I'm going to tell you about me. Okay? And when she was doing all that, she was still continuously looking me up and down. And I had walked to his car. I walked to his car and I was standing beside the door. And I was waiting for him to like open the door. And he just like didn't even unlock the door. He was already in the car, mind you. Like he ran, like he bolted to the car. And so like I'm standing there waiting for him to like open the door, and she's continuously like looking at me. And then she has the audacity to look at me and go and walk away. First of all, who are you to be looking at me? Second of all, don't look at me, okay? And then I asked him, I was like, who is that? You know her? And he didn't say anything about it. Nothing. Like it was just silence the whole ride back to campus. And I'm just like, so you not gonna tell me who this random female was that just walked up in your house? So that's what we doing. And then after that night, this is when he blocked me for 2 weeks. And look, so since I messed this part up in the video, I felt like the best way to tell y'all what happened and give y'all the real and the truest tea of all teas is I brought out my personal journal. This is my personal journal, and this is where I write down all of my teas, all of my hate, all of my love, all of my fears, insecurities, and everything. And nobody has ever read this. Nobody has ever opened it. And I'm the only person that reads it, obviously, because I'm the one that writes it. So today I'm actually going to be sharing and reacting to some of the stuff that I wrote about Lazarus, because baby, pages upon pages upon pages upon pages are filled with nonsense. And this is going all the way back to like March of 2018. So this entry was March 29th, 2018, and it was 6 days later, 7 days later, First things first, I haven't heard from Lazarus since last Tuesday. But that's okay because screw him. Ooh, 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 ooh. Pause right there. What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? Anywho, continue doing the story. I'm leaving this in the video because I love when I get interrupted. I eventually ended up messaging his friend, and we're gonna call him. What's a good name, Grandma Kathy? What is that? I want that. What is that? Okay, so he had this best friend. We'll call him Lil Ray Ray for Ratchet. And they were always not together. They were always on the phone. They were always talking to each other, whatever the case may be. And so, me being the sleuth that I am, I eventually found his Facebook. And since I hadn't been in contact with him for a week, I decided, let's go ahead and give him a call. So I had called him one day and I was like, hey, have you seen Lazarus? And he seemed like very shady on the phone, like, no. But in reality, more than likely he's been talking to him consistently for up until this time. So that's just a fill-in right there. So where I left off in the story, Ratchet hasn't called me since the day he called me. So all that is dead. And then apparently I ended up talking to somebody else, but obviously that didn't fall through. April 9th, 2018. So today I took time out of my life to make time for Lazarus. We had said that it was okay for me to come through at, I don't know when this was, to be completely honest, but I feel like it's gonna jog a memory. Anyway, come through at 2 p.m. So when 2 p.m. came, I called him, and as usual, he ignored my call. That was a very, 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 very prominent thing up until this day. Like, to the last time I spoke to him, which was a few weeks ago. We'll get to that. We will get to that. I never just blew your fucking wig back. But we will get to that. We will get to that part. Okay? But that was that's like the number one thing that he always does. Is he always ignores me. He always makes excuses and blah, 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 blah. So, and as usual, he ignored my call. I texted him, as always, ignored. Then I called him one last time, and I called him again. Okay, so apparently I called him about 4 times. And then on that 5th time, he called me back. And I asked him, do you want me to come over? And in the midst of a bunch of what's from this end... I remember when this was. When he finally answered the phone, he had an attitude with me. He was like, what's the problem? What's the issue? What's the pressure? And I'm like, I don't understand, like, why you're not answering me. And then kind of find out, he's gonna say, I'm with my friends right now. That was what he always said as an excuse. I'm with my friends right now. I can't do this. I'm with my friends right now. I can't do that. I'm with my friends. I'm with my friends. I'm with my friends. Look, okay, like, I understand we all have friends, but at the end and the beginning of the day, we're not over there 24/7. And that's the tea. That's the tea. It eventually led to the point to where he hung up in my face. And if you know me, you don't do that. You don't do that to me. I will blow your phone up. I will go as far as to call your provider and shut that mother off.
Can you explain why the fuck I'm getting your voicemail? You turned your phone out. Well, I'ma pull up in the driveway at your mama house. Double park the whip, bitch, you ain't getting out. Peep through the window, blow my horn and yell your name out.
You ain't seen crazy. You ain't seen crazy yet. Like Miranda Lambert said, he ain't seen me crazy yet. That's me. And he was basically flexing in front of his friends like he always does. And it's just like, you doing this for attention to make it seem like you just got females that are always like coming at you. When in reality, baby, you ain't shit. Period. April 15th, 2018. So today was liberating because I finally kicked Lazarus's dog ass to the curb. And just like any other man, he turned disrespectful, like I'm basically beneath him. And that's not true, nor what I signed up for, okay? The final breaking point was when he basically said that he was only talking to me to fill up his empty, look, I can't read this. Like, do y'all see that? Like, it's so messed up. Like, forgive me. To fill up his empty time, and it was just for his entertainment. Oh, yes, I remember. Because I asked him, I was like, why are you even talking to me, like, if you don't want to actually talk to me? And I basically asked him, I was like, are you talking to me just to fill up your free time? Because he only works weekends. So Monday through Friday, he's basically chilling. So I asked him, I was like, so Monday through Friday, am I just here to just fill in the empty spots, like, for your free time? And he literally told me yes. Literally told me yes. And then I asked him, I was like, okay, so am I just somebody here to sleep with? And he was like, yeah. Wig. Blue bag, baby. Like, a whole lot went on. Like, basically, I just went on a rant towards the rest of it. So what happened was, like, the ending of everything, the first round, it was April 20th, 2018. So if you have me on Snapchat or on any other social media, you may have heard like glimpses. You may have heard like snippets of this story before, but I've never said like the true tea on what actually happened. So the day was April 20th, 2018, and I had texted him, like we had texted before on April 19th, 2018. We were texting before, and I was like, hey, can I come around like 10 or 11? I think it was like 10 a.m. So, and he was like, yeah, sure. Bet. So the next day comes around, and it's like 9:30, and I'm like texting him, I'm calling him, like, you know, because he's usually up. So I'm like, what the hell, because he's not answering the phone. And then I'm telling my roommate at the time, and I'm like, should I still go over there? And all my roommates are basically just like, you know, do what you want to do, like, you know, at the end of the day, you're the only person that's making these decisions. So if you feel like you need to go over there, then you need to go over there, but if you don't, then don't. And that's how all my roommates are. They're just like, you know, do what you need to do, basically. So, I mean, I did what I needed to do. So, 10 a.m., I went over there, and at 10:01, I remember I checked the phone. 10:01, I'm at the door. I'm knocking on the door, right? So, and I don't hear anything. Like, I don't get anything back. So, I'm like, his car is out there, so I know he's in this house. So I start knocking on the door again, and then all of a sudden I hear like shifting and moving around and all this type of stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And then all of a sudden, boom, the door opens, like just a little crack, like this much, and this big old girl standing here in my face. And I'm looking at her, she's looking at me, she's like, hello, can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm here to see Lazarus. She literally turned around and looked at him and was like, are you expecting anybody? And I heard him from the midst of the room say, no. What you mean?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I told her, straight up to her face, I said, honey, I had the text messages. We had already planned this, so I don't know what he's telling you what's going on up in there, but I'm supposed to be here. Period. So we basically like just standing here looking at each other, and I'm just like, let me in so I can talk to Lazarus face to face, because you doing too much staying here in my face. She opens the door, I look at her. She's in a top like this, a little tank top, and some drawers on. Then it hits me, and it's the same big old girl that was questioning me when I first got to the apartment. Like, when she first got to the apartment, last time I seen her on March 29, 2018. So I'm like, oh, she lives here. I've conjured something out here. I'm like, okay, so she lives here. And next thing I know, I'm questioning him. I'm like, so you don't know me? Like, hello, remember me? And he's just looking at me. And I'm like, you don't recall me supposed to be coming over here? And he was like, I never texted you back. I'm like, I don't give a damn. I'm here. And we already established that I was coming over here, so I'm here. So, like, what's tea? And so, you know what 420 is. 420 is the day that everybody... And so, that's what I was over there for. You know what I mean? So, I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, look, I don't know what's going on in here, but I came over here for 420. Okay? And the girl was cool. She was like, hey, we can match. I was like, bet, let's match. And he's not a part of it because he ain't tapping my shit. Period. He ain't tapping my shit. He's basically mad because he's like, wow, y'all really finna smoke in my house? Yes.
100% of 100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you said I could come over here, now you acting like you don't know me because she's here. No, I'm finna get down to the nitty gritty and I'm finna see what the hell is really tea up in this hoe. So me and the girl end up sitting on the couch and we end up talking, and then come to find out, March 29th, 2018, when I first seen her, they were in a relationship. Mind you, I had been going over there since like the end of February. And she ended up telling me that the reason why he blocked me for 2 weeks was because she told him to block me. And you know what Megan Thee Stallion said? Megan Thee Stallion said, I like better than that hoe. That's why she made me block. Okay, you know what? I done fucked it up.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I look better than that hoe. That's why she made you block me. I look better than that hoe. That's why she made him block me. Like, she ended up telling me that she thought I was still blocked. You thought you could control some shit. No. And basically we ended up, like, she ended up telling me the whole entire story. Like, they were together. They were still sleeping together, which is the part that I find immaculately messed up, because from the day one he was telling me that he wasn't seeing anybody else. But come to find out, he was smashing big bitch. And it just like really threw me for an entire loop. And when she was sitting there telling me the entirety and giving me the whole details and the whole rundowns of they were still together, they were still sleeping together. She pulled his bed out, little air mattress, little tight bed, into the living room so he could be out there because she wanted to get away from him. Everything. And I'm just sitting here, I'm looking at him and I'm just like, so you ain't got nothing to say for yourself. And he just like, what am I gonna say? She done said it all. So I'm sitting here like, so you confirming everything that she just said. And he's like, I went ballistic. God was on my side. We ended up smoking. I ended up finishing it. I was hurrying, trying to get out of there. And then when I got up and I was ready to go, I looked at her and I was like, you know what? Thanks for letting me in, because you didn't have to let me in, but thanks, whatever. And I looked at him and I kept it moving. I didn't say nothing else to him because I was like, you got me messed up. I'm not gonna lie, I did really like him. So the only thing that I knew to do was to pull over at a church and cry, because like that was the moment where I felt like I had really been betrayed. Like I had really been lied to. I had really been like feeding onto a rope, but there was nobody on the other end, if you get what I mean. And it was just kind of like my whole time was wasted at that point, and there was no going back to it. And it was so much going on, so much drama, so much chaos. And y'all gonna hate me, but there's a part 3. Y'all thought the story was over right there? Baby. The story came back around in like what, February, around the same time frame when it happened last year. It came back around again, but it was on my own accord, because I just wanted to see what would happen. And what would happen was basically the same thing. But there's not a part 4 because canceled, over, done. I know he watched my YouTube videos because I was at his house when he watched them. So if you're watching this, I mean, like, don't say anything, don't comment, you don't have to like it, you can unsubscribe, I don't care. You just need to get out of my life for good, forever. It's over, it's canceled. I'm not going back. I will never ever 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 be your side bitch. I hope you enjoyed part 2 of the series. So with that being said, there's one part left and then this series is complete. But also, we're starting a new series. And with that being said, we're going to be starting a new series. It's going to be on Saturday. And this was actually being recorded on Saturday. And it's going to be called Saturday Shook. Well, I'm going to be giving y'all scary... the hell? I'll be giving y'all, you know, like scary stories about stuff in Alabama, stuff in Florida. Because I currently live in Alabama. I'm from Florida, and I just feel like nobody on YouTube is ever talking about scary things in Alabama besides like the Sloss Furnace in Birmingham, which, I mean, we all know, but like, can we get something else? You know what I mean? So with that being said, I hope you guys give me a nasty little like, a cute little subscribe, and an interesting little comment. And y'all know what to do. Close it out. Bow, 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 bow.
I gotta go. Bye.